Hello everyone, I am GoGFan1998 and I'm doing for another G-Fest interview for this year for G-Fest 31. Today I have a special guest for today. It is my good friend Walter Ross, aka Jedi Grand Vile.
VELLE. Yeah, I'm sorry. But it's about the same thing. But yes, thank you.
So, before we get ready to start the interview, Jedi, how does it feel like to be on interview on my channel for the first time?
I'm very honored. Like I say, I was very surprised when you asked to be on your channel, and honestly, hey, it makes me feel very special about that.
Alright. Now, are you nervous or excited?
Excited.
Alright, for my number one question, how and when did you become a Godzilla fan and become a Godzilla YouTuber, and why?
Okay. When I became a fan, that was back in the 70s. Because I was a 70s baby. And my first iteration with Godzilla was a magazine, famous Monsters of Filmland, volume 114, and it had a collection of different kaijus from Japan, and Godzilla just somehow struck me as something very special to me. So from that point on, I've always been a Godzilla fan, true and true. Now, as far as being a YouTube content creator, as far as dealing with Godzilla, it kind of happened by accident, believe it or not. I was, trying to upload something on Facebook when I first got into Facebook account, but I couldn't do it on Facebook, so I said, well, let me put it on YouTube. And somehow, gradually, the momentum of doing things there grew, and surprisingly, whatever I was trying to do grew along with it, and Godzilla was just part of that. So from that point on, I have been dealing out content creation of anything, where it be not just Godzilla, but various other topics, But Godzilla is definitely at the top of that kind of list.
That's good. And now for my number two, as a Godzilla YouTuber, what do you do in your channel?
Well, pretty much, like I say, pretty much everything. I do certain discussions as far as like, because I have it in a list, as the saying goes. I have stuff like right now, since I'm at G-Fest, I have a particular episode which is called G-Fest Moments, which discuss moments at G-Fest, and I discuss those things there. I have one called Tokusatsu Corner, which definitely deals with anything that is, Tokusatsu related, or basically anything kaiju, which is Godzilla, Gamera, etc., etc. So that, and like I say, various other, topics, and some things I do just off the top of my head is just like a cool, notion, like talking about certain creators as far as composers, film composers, like Akiko Fube. He try to figure out what's my favorite composition he's done in films, So stuff like that. It's just varies. It just runs the kind of gamut, Something that I do every so often that's pretty, fun for me, because at my age I just love to do stuff that I wish I could have done when I was a kid, but here I am nearing 60 and still doing that. So that's what that is.
That's good to hear that one. Now, for my number three, what is your favorite things what you do in your channel?
Well, now that's a very good question, and I think the best answer I can give you is everything. Everything that I do is what I like. I don't really have a favorite. Everything that I do is pretty much, if you see what my channel consists of, everything that's on there, I love. Whether it be the personal junk of favorites, whether it be Tokusatsu Corner, or something as far as special deliveries, where, like, say, I talk about something that I get in the mail that I ordered. I love it all. So, I'm not picky. So.
That's good. And now, for my number four question, what is your favorite Godzilla film of all time, and why?
Okay, now that is super easy. That would be Godzilla versus Megalon.
And which ones?
Godzilla versus Megalon.
Megalon. And
Yes.
why is that?
Well, because that was my very first Godzilla film, and somehow in time, because I would think other films that I've seen of Godzilla would change that, but somehow Godzilla versus Megalon is more of a child-esque kind of film, and it really helps me to bring the child out of me, even in my later years. And it's still to this day my favorite Godzilla film, even comparing to the original '54 Gojira, or even with Shin Godzilla, or even with -1. Godzilla versus Megalon will still stand out being my favorite Godzilla.
That's good pick of your favorite pick for Megalon. Who cannot resist that beetle bug?
Yes, exactly.
Now for my last question, what is your favorite characters from the Godzilla series, like human characters or alien race character?
Oh my goodness, that's now that as far as my favorite film, that's going to be a toughie, but I would say that would be like, well, the Keelaks, believe it or not, are some of my favorite.
And why Keelux is your favorite?
Well, basically it's showing, well, it's kind of weird because as a person who was predominantly raised by a mom, I like the tone of strong female protagonist or antagonist. And since the Keelaks are potentially or pretty much female, they stand out as a very aggressive and very, very, tough kind of adversaries, and showing that they're female makes it so much more gratifying because they are not trying to, be sorry about what they're doing, So with them, that is by far one of my favorite characters in the Godzilla series.
Well, I'm glad you picked Keelux as your favorite alien race of all time. Well, that's all my questions for today. And Jedi, how does it feel to have more fun you're going to have more fun on G-Fix?
Well, it feels great. It really does feel great, and like I say, it's always an honor. It's always good to know that people like yourself or anyone else, bring me to their flock and ask me, what my feelings are to this. As I say, I'm just an ordinary individual. That's something I don't feel many people realize. I'm just ordinary, but I guess I give this kind of energy that most people do not give. And this is probably why, like I said, I guess that's why you asked me, to do this. So to me, I feel very honored by doing this. So
I am so glad that you are honored.
yes.
And thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed, but I have more interview will be coming up soon. I don't know how many, but it all depends on my guests who wanted to do it or not. So as always, thanks for watching. Stay BG fans, as always. You want to say your outro?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll just do that. Quick outro take. I mean, just for my channel, it's Jedi Greenville Productions. And as I always say, since we're at G-Fest, I always say, y'all take care. Y'all please be patient. And always keep the kaiju love alive.